He replied, "Look, I see 4 men, unbound, walking around inside the fire, and they aren't hurt. And the fourth one looks like one of the gods."
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Not only are they the three names of those who are part of the story in Daniel, but they are perhaps the Bible's cruel trick upon us to learn names, right? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Not exactly Peter, Paul, and Mary. But the story that is about them, especially this story here, is a remarkable one. You see, in it we have King Nebuchadnezzar, again, making the all-name list. King Nebuchadnezzar is punishing Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, punishing them by death in what amounts to a furnace. He throws them in the furnace, expecting that they would die, and to his amazement, as he's watching their silhouettes in the flames, he sees not just 3, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, but rather 4 figures. And even there at the end says, well, gosh, that 4th one almost looks like a godly being. God was with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. God was with them. Literally in the furnace. Now, I share this story and I share this passage from Daniel, not in order to prove that God can cause us to withstand furnace temperatures. That's not the purpose of this devotion. And honestly, I don't know that that's the purpose of this passage. I think the purpose of it is to remind us that when all seems lost, God remains with us. When we are up against the spiritual forces of wickedness, God remains with us. You see, I think one of the downsides of church. I realize how that sounds. But the downsides of church, at least in modern times, is that we think about church as a place that you go, and when you go to that church on Sunday morning, you experience God. God is present with you, and then when you go into your life until about six and a half days later, you come back and you worship God again where God is in that sanctuary. And no matter how many times the pastor reminds us that God goes with us into the world, we sometimes think about God as being something or someone in some place that we go to visit. And that when we have hard times, when we struggle, when we face the flames of a furnace, that God is simply waiting for us to come and tell God about what we experienced and what hardships we'd faced. And hopefully none of us are killed in the process until we are. Hopefully none of us face challenge and hardship in the process until we do. But this story, which is often told as a children's story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and King Nebuchadnezzar, when we look at the story, we see a simple truth. Even in the furnace, God was present. In our hardships, not later on, not sometime to come, not when we kneel to pray, but right in the midst of our hardships, God is present. I need not say more. Amen.